Hey everybody, let's play Defender of Boston, the Rock Island Mystery. Programmed by Tim Weissman and artwork by Kenneth Weissman. This is actually a shareware program that gives you the entire game. It's a full game. The only thing you get with the registration is the map and some other things that come with the game that you can actually get as at replacement docks or other locations on the internet. I'm not sure if you can actually still purchase this game, but it would be kind of a novel thing to get this game, a full version of this game, after all this time. I might have to look into that, because this is a really awesome game. You are a member of a team of investigators known as the Faunus Foundation. The goal of the Faunus Foundation is to protect humanity from the terrors that lurk beyond space and time. You have been sent to a small island just off the coast of Boston. A friend of the Foundation named Fred Black is missing, and a dangerous artifact may have fallen into the wrong hands. You will have to face the Sinister Ministry on your own. The Foundation has rented a house for you on the island while you carry out your investigation. After a good night's sleep, you wake up ready to begin your work. Don't forget to read your assignment letter and the last few letters Fred Black sent the Foundation. The future of Boston and the surrounding area may depend on you. Good luck. So this game is actually based on the works of H.P. Lovecraft, which is something that I learned quite a bit after I originally played this game, along with a lot of other games I played during my youth. Very similar to one of my viewers, whose name I'm forgetting at the moment, who originally suggested that I play this game again. Oh, right. There is a bit of a discrepancy here on the size of the window changes. One moment. There we go. Okay. I'm using the open broadcasting software to record this, and it's extremely convenient because I no longer have to do the audio syncing or a lot of steps. I really like open broadcasting software. That's what I'm saying. This is basically a plug for them, even though they're a free program. I used to use programs that I pay for, but it's really cool that the free program out there is one of the best options available for everyone. It's good. It's progress. Now I won't have to pay any more money for recording software, and there's free editing software that's getting better all the time too. So that'll be good news. Anyways, one of my old characters was named Vinny the Calm. In this version of the game, that's the last person I was putting in, or the last name I was putting in. I still have the high scores list is a little bit messed up. In that there was a second version of what was it? Ninja Columbo. There's a second entry of him in the high scores list because I had imported the save or something. In any case, I have a character made called Rocky, and Rocky was a boxer. When I was last playing, I was thinking about making him. He hasn't really made much progress, but I'm going to keep him here just in case I want to be Rocky at some point, so I'm going to install my game on slot 4. I'm not sure what the theme of my character is going to be, generally speaking, but I think I'm going to make this character a bit more utilitarian, and I'm going to try to actually win the game this time. I was really close with Ninja Columbo. I learned that there's an alien being held captive by the government, and that there's something that we need to do to get a certain pod back to the aliens, or something like that. And then there's this eldritch demon under the island that I need to seal away reading a scroll at the top of a tower. And I tried to do that. I tried to complete both these objectives, one with the aliens and one with that eldritch monster thing. And I didn't really complete either objective, but I got close. So we're going to try to finish things up this time. I'm going to be a character that is got at least a little bit of mental bar and life at the beginning, because these are actually how much can you... I don't think you can start without life, right? The game will complain to you if you do that. Alrighty. I'm done with the character generation. I've created the character Dr. Hypnosesys, as he uses his incredible appearance and his psychological knowledge to hypnotize his his victims, the people he speaks to, when he's in the people of Rock Island. He will hypnotize the people of Rock Island and interrogate them and discover the answers to the mystery that is going on Rock Island. We're going to install Dr. Hypnosesys on game slot 4. He has decent strength because I want to be able to carry a lot of stuff. He has incredible stamina because I think that's extremely important. Part of the reason why Ninja Columbo died was he didn't have enough strength and stamina to carry around the massive amount of stuff I started carrying around. So if I carry around less stuff and have more strength and stamina, I'm more likely to survive. Good shooting skill is important, and he's got great appearance. Anyways, here are his stats. We're installing him on game 4. You can actually start with no mental meter and wind up in jail instantly. I actually took advantage of that fact because I was testing it out with Ninja Columbo. But I feel like that's taking advantage of the game mechanics a bit much. And I'm already taking advantage of the game mechanics a lot by starting off with almost no life and almost no mental bar, as I'll just heal myself. These are actually, it's weird. This is a character generation system, but life and mental are actually your current life and mental status. So I'm starting with barely any life or mental. Like I said, I could start with no mental, and you just go crazy at the start. And then the sheriff says, "I found you going crazy." And that seems like just pushing things a bit too far. And I've already decided my stats in a way that are going to help me a lot in the game, as I kind of know what I want to be. So anyways, I'm not going to be Rocky, because I don't want to punch things. I feel like Dr. Hypnosis here will have a much better chance of winning the game, as he is all about shooting things and has a nose for investigation. He will, with his great nose for discovering things, he will find the answers. He will definitely find the answers. He's a nosy fellow. He is the best kind of investigator. He with the clinical acuity of a doctor and the nose of a true investigator. All right. So, if you watched the life of Ninja Columbo, you'll remember that I got pretty far and I talked to a lot of people, but I'm still going to remind myself. I'm going to read over everything again to remind myself of things, just so that I feel like I missed something, because he didn't win. I tried to take advantage of everything I learned, but I feel like I kind of missed something, so I'm going to read over everything again. Your mission: due to the fact that Robert Faunus is out of town, you will have to go to Rock Island to find out what has happened to Fred Black. Happened. There's a missing D there. Would Robert Faunus handle this on his own if he was in town? All we know is, so far, or is he just like a friend? He would have been able to tell us something, I guess. All we know so far is Fred Black's house has been burnt to the ground, and his wife was found shot to death and laying in his backyard. Fred was a very trusted friend of the Foundation. All I know about that, in addition, is that the government may or may not have something to do with that happening there. The matter of the strange artifact should be looked into. Find out if the artifact has anything to do with Fred's disappearance. We have been getting reports of odd happenings on Rock Island. Find out what you can and report back by letter. If there are any problems on the island, do what you can to remedy things. It is important to Robert Faunus and the Foundation that Rock Island and the other 2 islands of the Great Mystery Chain remain as free as possible from problems. Of the Great Mystery Chain. Okay. Rock Island, being so close to Boston, is a possible stronghold for otherworldly influences and unnatural creatures. Keeping an eye on Rock Island is important to our goal of defending Boston from evil. Be sure to read letters from Fred. And they are on the following the letters from Fred, and they are in the following pages. What was it? From Gina. Good luck, Gina Faunus. Okay, so it makes it sound like the Faunus Foundation is actually a smaller organization than one would hope would be protecting all of humanity from evil, but what can you say? Maybe this whole protecting the world from evil thing isn't very widely advertised. It's not exactly a large, not exactly a very profitable field of work. In any case, this is the first letter received from Fred Black. It is marked July 18th, 1921. Mr. Funness, this is very important. Read very carefully. I have an artifact here on Rock Island that I know for a fact could destroy all of mankind if it were to fall into the wrong hands. The artifact can unleash the powers far greater than anyone ever could dream. The thing is horrible. It emits a hyper field. I forgot how cryptic this stuff was. It emits a hyperfield that burns the minds of men as well as animals. The ultimate end will be a truth too huge, too fantastic, to be able to be contained within the mind of any man. You will find that behind what I have to tell you is a well-founded truth backed up by unobfuscative proof positive. On the night, it's unmistakable. On the night of the unobfuscated. You can't hide it. It's unhideable proof. You can't. In any case, on the night of the 13th, it all started. There was an explosion high in the air and a red sputtering glow that lit up the island. I went out that night to see what it was all about. I have been trying to track down whatever it was that has been killing Ben Williams' cows. I saw something far to the north, and there was a weird tree monster or something. There's a lot of things that could have been killing Ben Williams' cows, but I saw something far to the north during burning near Ben's farm. As I stood atop the round hill, I saw men walking around the fire. I was unable to tell what they were doing. The next few days, more men showed up and on the island. Most were wearing some sort of uniform. They wouldn't let anyone near Ben's farm. I think those guys were the guys that had something to do with the government, if I remember correctly. So they were wearing uniforms. They wouldn't let anyone near Ben's farm. On July 17th, I found laying near a small pool in the wood, the thing. I found it lying near a small pool in the wood. It is a small box with 4 jewels set upon its face. It is not anything that I have ever seen before. Oh yes, and I actually found that. That is I found that with the government, with the alien, and there was buttons. You can play with the buttons, and actually there was a previous character of mine named Bruce Willis who got a hold of the thing, and there's a radio signal that you're getting from the frog people that tells you certain buttons you can press. And basically, if you press the buttons that the deep ones want you to press on the artifact, you just hear an explosion and it's game over. Bang! So that was quite sudden. It's like, okay, do I do what the deep ones tell me to do over the radio? You listen to the radio, and it was like, a certain order of buttons. So when I was playing around with the buttons as Ninja Columbo, I could have potentially killed myself. The thing actually does have the power to kill you, and I don't know, when I activated it, I may have destroyed the world. So, don't play around with the thing. But anyways, yes, 4 jewels set upon its face, or I think there was 4 buttons on the thing I found, red, the primary colors. It is not like anything that I have seen before. Actually, it's like a box with buttons on it. I've seen things. The thing burns your mind. I don't actually remember that happening, but animals have strangely found that animals behave strangely around the thing. There is a shifting hyper field around it. This artifact holds many secrets. I had a powerful dream about the artifact. It is a gateway to another place. That it is a gateway to another place. Or did I have the artifact? Probably. When I went to sleep in the same room as the thing, I was carried away beyond the wall of sleep. I understand what this thing is, but I will not put it in writing for fear that this letter will fall into the wrong hands. Come to the island quick and see this thing. We need to find a safe place to hide this thing, and fast. I fear that someone is watching me and following my every move. Come quick. I have proof that this thing has mind-boggling powers. The second letter is postmarked July 19th, 1921. When I awoke this morning to find the thing... I awoke this morning to find the thing missing. This is very bad. If the thing were to fall in the wrong hands of the wrong person, or in the hands of the wrong person, it could mean the end of life as we know it. Help! We must recover the thing now. You may not believe me now, but I will be able to prove everything when you, or whoever you send to the island, get here. Fred. The third letter, from Fred Black, postmarked July 23rd, 1921. So, yeah, this is obviously in the past. Please disregard my last few letters. I found the artifact I was telling you about in my earlier letters. I must have bumped it by accident sometime in the night, because it was lying under my nightstand. I also have found out what it really was. There was a small tag tied to it with the name Dr. Novak in small writing on the very bottom. I missed seeing that before. Oh, it was silly of me to have jumped to outlandish conclusions that I did the other day. I returned the artifact to Dr. Novak today. He is going to send me a reward for finding the lost artifact. It turns out that wild animals must have carried the thing out out of their dig site tent one night. The artifact is an old Indian artifact they dug up in the old Indian burial ground, so there's really no need for you to come to the island. Everything's been taken care of. Fred Black. And that's mysterious how his tone... I was trying to change my tone because the tone of that letter is completely different, and it seems like it was written maybe by somebody else, like the government or evil... What I think I have learned is that somehow the Deep Ones have infiltrated the government, and so, yeah, the people from the government are bad. Anyways, I've got almost no health starting off, and no mental status, so I'm going to have to rest up a bit, but I need to get some medical supplies, so I can make medicine... I need to look up the recipe for the medicine. I need to make some medicine. I should have all types of medicine, which is useful. Okay, all sorts of medicine. Actually, I had all these options when I had less first aid skill, so I'm not sure what having like maxed out first aid skill does, but I like maxed out my first aid skill this time. Ears of corn and mushrooms. And I found out that ears of corn actually disappear from the world after a certain point in the game. Because the island just gets kind of torched. So if you want ears of corn, this would be a good time to get them. And stocking up on ears of corn might not be the worst thing to do. But holding too many items is very, very bad. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to collect some ears of corn. Ooh, what's this? Okay, a friendly dog, good. I don't want to see evil dogs. I'm going to stock up on some ears of corn and some mushrooms. And we're going to make some medicine, and I'm going to feel better. Okay, so ear of corn, mushroom. Ear of corn. And I'm going to leave some of these items in the house. Or in a house. Okay, that's a bad dog. That's a bad dog. That's a bad dog. Ooh, a 12 gauge shell. That's a bad dog. I got to get away from the bad dog. He might kill me. Let me in. Okay. I want to make medicine. Healing broth drink. That's not the one. The Rekbakik elixir. Alright, oh, that could have filled 3 more bottles, but I'm out of empty bottles. Whoopsie doodle. And then I'll drink this water. And I will drink my medicine. Alright. Not the clam chowder. Although that would be delicious. Alright. That is really salty, but I am feeling better. Drink some water because I was probably thirsty after all the salt. And let's search this person's house. See what we can find. I forget what was in here. Oh, this is where the 20 gauge shotgun was. I'm not sure if taking extra shirts. I might be getting... I think taking equipment, like clothing, helped you stay warm. I know that there was a winter jacket somewhere that was important. But I'm actually forgetting a lot about this game, since it's been a few years since I played it. The last time I played it was back in 2012, so yeah. Yeah, so, what, 4 years? Yeah, so there's a lot to forget. But I'm gonna gather up the ears of corn and 12-gauge shells. Oh, there's a 22 caliber shell out here as well. I remember that if I gather up a bunch of corn and leave it in the farmhouse for I can store corn for the future after the corn disappears from the game. And I'm actually thinking rather long term about this. This is probably going to be a long play because I don't know. It took Ninja Columbo quite a while to win. So if I don't win the game, at least I'm going to survive. I intend for this character to survive longer than other characters, so at least if I don't figure out the mystery, I'll see how long. That's one of the things I'm curious about. The world seems to get worse and worse as time goes on. So, how long can you survive in this game without dying? And how inhospitable does this game get? Do things just keep getting worse? Does the game eventually make you lose? That's one of the questions I have about the game that I kind of would like to answer. So, if I can't figure out the mystery, at the very least, I'll have that to find out. All right, I need to get more bottles and more tango weed. I need to find that out in my other house. All right, these animals appearing are a bit of an issue. I don't have any shells for my shotgun, but I can threaten you with a shotgun. I can sure threaten you. Alright, I know around my house I can find some bottles. And the bird dung can be used to make explosives, but I'm not going to pick that up yet. Boy, I could use some tango weed. Ow, I've been bitten! I can't be bitten too many more times. I didn't start with enough health. I did drink all my elixir, right? Okay, I'll drink my water. And how many bottles do I have? At least 5? Okay, good. Let's make another elixir. Set. Oh, I need at least 1 bottle of water. Okay. Okay. Oh goodness, we're having to brave the dogs for another bottle. Ow. Oh. Save me, friendly dog, from the evil dog. What are you doing, friendly dog? Are you just learning bad things from the other dog? I think so. That's all that's happening. Okay. Now we get 5 bottles of medicine. Alright, and I need that medicine. I almost got killed right off the bat by wild dogs. Okay, so is that max health? Yeah, okay, that's really salty. We're at max health. Congratulations. You got healed from the initial damage that you had by min-maxing. Alright. So, drink the water. We're feeling better. And I guess I'm gonna try to go south. Ah, no, but dogs! Okay, so even though I've healed my current health, I have not healed my paper doll's health. As you take injuries, you get damaged in different areas. A deerstalker hat and the fish beast. The fish beast gives you score because it's a thing that is information. We're in the house of Stephen King. It's a character that's like Stephen King, but he's basically Stephen King. His name is like Steve Vella in this game. It was a dark and stormy night. The ocean waves leaped up and down against the green, slimy ocean cliff. Joe was walking down the dark and scary path on his way home from the party when he saw a horrible shadow flash across the path before him. It was much like the shadow he remembered from long ago. Joe wondered if the shadow belonged to the bloody, thirsty monster that he feared had followed him from his old house in the dark, slimy, snow-bound northern woods. Frank yelled out from somewhere behind, "Hey, did you find that path yet?" Joe stood still, fearing to say a word or open his eyes. Frank yelled out again. This time there was a glimmer of fear in his voice. "Cut that out! That isn't very funny anymore. Joe?" When the noises issued forth, this ominous chorus from his past were singing out all around him. The snarling, hissing, sweet child sweet laughter, and the nauseating screech of some hell-born owl. Joe knew out there in the darkness was a prehistoric nightmare feeling out with slimy green tentacles. Oh, yeah, feeling out towards him. Feeling out with slimy green tentacles. Suddenly his eyes were drawn to the rock circle pit of cyclopean horror into which had been opened by some green, bloodthirsty man-fish clown. There was a rock circle pit of cyclopean horror. This is actually making a lot more sense now that I know more about the game. The black blob of slimy goo thing surged up from underground, gushed out into the zenith of the stones. And gushed out into the zenith of the stones. It looked like a tide of thick, stinky, congealed green sewage, except it was stinkier. Joe stood there, shaking, as the slime goo thing disappeared into a cloud of bristling wire like black hairs and retracted into the ground, making a broad, blood-freezing sound, leaving Frank in an amorphous, protoplasmic mound. The lightning flashed, illuminating horrific shadows of inhuman horror. At that moment, an earthquake shook the ground, boulders and trees fell all around. Joe found himself sliding on a wave of mud before he landed with a thud on the sand of the beach, out of reach of the fish man dressed as a clown. I don't recall them dressed as a clown, but if that's how your mind helps deal with the imagery, that works. A huge octopus raised its ugly head out of the ocean and smiled with a sickly green smile before sinking into the depths from which it had come. Joe's heart pounded like a drum, so he ran towards the sea, attempting to flee. I wouldn't run towards the sea with all what's going on. To flee off in the distant wind, he heard a song arising. I'm looking for the Ongo Pongo, the bunny hunging Ongo Pongo, whose mother was a mutton, whose father was a whale. I'm going to put a little bit of salt on his tail. I'm looking for the Ongo Pongo. Huh. The thunder rolled across the land, the sea boiled and the gurgled, the green slime floated from the fathomless depths, and Joe dug himself deep into the sand, fearing to look up. He already knowing that he had lost his mind, but fearing to admit to himself for the sake of his sanity. He heard the fish beast men marching into the ocean, singing their hideous song. I'm looking for the Ongo Pongo, the owl munching, whose mother was a goat. His father was a whale. I'm going to put a little salt on his tail. I'm looking for the Ongo Pongo. Huh. Whose mother was a goat. The owl munching. So there's two mentions of owls, and owls are terrifying in this game. I have never killed an owl, and I have only wounded a deep one, but I think you can probably kill them too. But they're both horrifying. Both of them are horrifying in this game. Joe was sure glad it was all over the next morning, and he could go home. But he knew that no one would believe him, as always. Just then Frank walked up. What have you been smoking? You look terrible. Did you hit your head on a rock or something? And don't tell me no stories about giant chickens. Joe knew that this crafty being standing before him was not Frank, but a shape-changing, blood-sucking fish beast who had cleverly disguised himself as his friend. The real horror was just about to begin. And, well, actually, there's a lot of... Actually, at first I thought that story was all nonsense, but it turns out that there's actually a lot of truth to that story. And also, it's kind of interesting because it was written kind of in the style of Stephen King, where he has a bit too many adjectives. He over-describes certain things, but that's not that important. In any case, here's his diary. That'll be an interesting read. Apparently, Stephen King or Steve Vella doesn't care that I take his diary right in front of him. Let's see if we can get him to talk to us. I'm going to be friendly to him. What, do I look like you're personally answering service? Oh, sorry. Are you alright? I'll be super cool. There's something I want to ask you. I've got my nose. I'll fast talk. I'll get a little bit nasty. Okay, that getting nasty means being intimidating. And now he's getting a bit annoyed with me. I'm getting a bit nosy. I'm gonna keep being friendly. The more you talk to people, the more experience you get in various talking skills. But anyways, I still kind of remember what the things he kind of said. Okay, well, don't mind me. I'm just going to read your diary right in front of your eyes. It's a giant invasion of privacy, but you seem to be okay with it. Vinny was acting awful last night. I saw 2 small lights hovering over the south side of the island, then jolt instantly to the north of the island. Huh. This was probably caused by ball lightning or some other natural thing. We are having some rainy and stormy weather today. Naomi came by today and gave me and my wife the best pie I ever ate in my entire life. She told me that the cattle were acting up yesterday. Was Naomi Fred Black's wife? I'm not sure. She said that they faced south and didn't moo all day. This is giving me some terrific ideas for my next book, Kumo the Devil Dog. Like Cujo. Today, I had an interesting experience while walking south to Naomi's place. I came to upon a dreadful and gruesome sight. It seems that a traveling circus has left its mark on the island. Several men have dumped the remains of Jumbo the elephant of Coney Island next to the Naomi farm. The remains are blackened because of the unusual death by electric. And those lights... death by electric? Death by electric. Okay. Huh. Jumbo, the elephant of Coney Island. Do you mean the one that Edison shocked to death? Well, that's weird. Anyways, to prove Edison shocked an elephant to death, to prove that that Tesla's alternating currents was worse than direct currents? Alright, well, there's a bit of trivia I didn't know before. In any case, so that's weird. Those lights came back last evening. These things were shaped like an acorn. Atop the things were always a cunning tower of some sort. 3 different styles could be recognized. One was large and oval. Another was pie pan-like. The other one had lights all around the sides with some sort of fire coming out the bottom. The lights came to rest behind the trees. I went outside to investigate further. When I found the source of the lights, I think I passed out. Whoops, I didn't mean to press that button. I think I passed out. I only have vague memories of what happened next. I remember something about owls. That's all. Ooh, those owls, they're freaky. I'm glad that Ungo Pungo is eating the owls, because those owls are bad news. They are just bad news throughout this. They do freaky things to people. It's messed up. The owls. I don't like the owls. I haven't seen Vinny all yesterday, so I decided to go out looking for him. His tracks lead me to the middle of a swamp. Out of nowhere comes the hideous green, pointy-eared, slime-covered fish beast things, climbing and crawling all over the woods and swamps, making grotesque, croaking noises. The book that I'm about to write is fantastic. I believe mankind has not yet been able to escape from such great writing. Yeah, I only wish they could. I know it's going to be a bestseller. It's remarkable what a writer can pick up from this island in dreams and real life terrors, such as going to the store and finding that an animal is attacking you. The book is about these fish beast man things. Today, I saw a shadow pass by my window and heard some creaks on the porch. When I opened the door, I saw a hideous devil man dog thing. Later, I found out it was just my dog Vinny. He came home. It was just my dog Vinny. He came home. See, that's the part that made me really think that everything he said was just nonsense, because he has an overactive imagination. He's a writer, but it turns out a lot of the things he has said are true. This wall shows signs of cat's claw marks. Yet, as far as I know, he has no cat. Dun dun dun. He has a dog. Well, in any case, I don't think that's actually anything significant. But I'm going to take everything that this guy has not nailed down. I might have to go through my inventory and drop some things back at my house next time I'm at my house, because getting weighed down in this game is bad news. You do not want to be overly weighed down. And we'll question Steve Vella later. I will get more corn. What else is around here? Cow dung, poison ivy. Don't really think that's necessary stuff to have. I want to make a lockpick. That's an important thing to have. Let's field engineering. Let's make a iron wire. I need an iron wire first. And I think I've got an extra shirt, so we'll go ahead and make some string for the future. Alright, so I've made 10 iron wires. I don't think your lockpicks can break. I'll go ahead and make some string just to have string in the future. And I'm going to make more than one lockpick because they're not very heavy. And just in case they do break. But I don't think I do have to worry about that too much. You can make a fishing pole if you like. You can make a spear. You can make a lot of things that aren't completely strictly necessary to win the game, but are a lot of fun. There's just a lot of things you can do in this game. You can really, to have fun with this game, you don't necessarily need to complete it. You can just go around just doing things and just experiencing the game on your own, which is one of the great things about the game. Solving the mystery is not maybe even the lion's share of the fun that you can have with this game. But I'm gonna try my hardest. I'm still gonna try my hardest to solve the mystery, because, well, I mean, that's like one of the points, right? That's like the primary goal. But generally, I've had more fun in this game just goofing off and running around and just doing silly things rather than trying to complete the story. So I do intend to have a little bit of fun going around and doing random things. But we're gonna try to complete the game. This is the sheriff's place. Got myself a gun here. The sheriff doesn't mind giving you his gun and a lamp, which will be quite useful for looking in the darkness. I'm not sure if we have lamp fuel, but part of my house was actually dark, so there's some items you can't get from your house originally without getting a light source, which is kind of strange. So I'm going around picking up more bottles and stuff for medicine. Here's Naomi's house. The door is locked, and nobody seems to be home. Well, this is a good opportunity to learn how to... Ow! Stop it. Ow! Ow! I'm being bit repeatedly. Alright, can I melee this dog? I'm not really good at meleeing. Kick! Kick the dog. The dog is way too fast for me. Can I pummel? The dog is way too fast. I do not have any melee skill. My odds of killing a dog without using a gun are not very good. I'm gonna have to run. I'm gonna have to run for it. I don't have time to pick the lock and get into the house. These dogs are hounding me. This is not very nice. Although, being hounded by dogs does seem somehow appropriate. I'm gonna drink my last medical drink. Just makes myself feel healthy. Alright, so we're in the store. I can buy anything I want in the store. He just puts it on my tab, which is very considerate of him. So basically, you can take whatever you like from the store. It's a very nice place. I'll take the 22 caliber rifle. I'll take the 22 caliber shells. About 50 of them. Yes, thank you very much. Should I just basically... I'm just going to take everything. Just send the bill to the Faunus Foundation. I'm going to take everything. Literally everything. But I'm gonna drop it in my house. I'm just gonna take the contents of the store. You know, this is a nice store you have. I'm gonna take everything in the store, and the store on this island is run by the Faunus Foundation. If anyone needs anything from the store, you can tell them to go to the Faunus Foundation. You can tell them to come by my house. And how are you? Who are you, and how are you? You are Scotty's wife, right? Karen Bradshaw is a beautiful woman. She almost glides as she walks. Her skin is completely white, almost as if there isn't any blood in her body. And she is a very weird person. I'm actually not sure if Karen Bradshaw is a human being, but she isn't a bad person as far as I know. You won't answer. Oh, now she will. She will answer my questions. Okay, that was pretty fast. My nose worked very quickly on her. Anything strange happening on the island? She was out on the beach in July. She saw an odd green man who ran into the sea and disappeared. She went over and looked at the footprints. They were a fishman's footprints. You saw a deep one. He walked into the water. Great. The Black Farm. What do you know about that? Well, it's really frightening that anyone would kill Fred and Laura. They were really nice. Easy targets just because they live so far away from the rest of us. I hope someone catches whoever did it and locks them up forever. Okay, well, I'll try. And there's that house south of Ben Williams' house. Or there's a house south of Ben Williams' house. There's a man, his wife, and a kid living there for 3 months. They never came to town. Nobody ever talked to them. And no one ever knows who they were. Then all of a sudden, 3 nosy guys in black suits move in, and the man, woman, and child that lived there disappeared. I heard the house is haunted. Oh. So the house that the government people were in, was not their house originally. Okay, interesting. I wonder who those people were. The area on the south part of the island, is an area that nothing ever grows in. It's dry and dusty with a old well in the middle. There's an old farm that has turned to dry powder and fell down. I heard the family living there died mysteriously in 1903. In fact, a bunch of people died on the island in 1903. Now that was an interesting thing. I don't remember exactly why that happened, but I think I don't know. No, I do. I think 1903 was when the Eldritch monster. There's a monster on the island, and I think it got unleashed in 1903, and then somehow it got put back where it was supposed to be. So, yeah, something bad. That's the main thing. Is something bad happened in 1903. I now have a .22 caliber rifle. I'm going to load it up. I'm going to teach those coyotes a lesson. There was a way to load a rifle more quickly. I forget the buttons now. I forget the buttons. I'll have to look at the help once again to remember the buttons for aiming and firing easily. I don't remember what they were. Actually, maybe I can peek at that real quick. What happens if I save the game? Will it exit? Alright, I exited. Okay, well, I'll have to hang on. I'm not done yet. I just want to look at the controls again. Okay. A to aim, L to load. A to aim, L to load. That's the main thing. T to shoot. A aim, L load, T shoot. ALT, 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 ALT. Alright. I got it. Alright, I just wanted to get my controls down. I didn't mean to actually leave the game entirely, but... Oh, it unloaded my gun. That's annoying. I had it halfway loaded before. Well, not halfway, partly loaded, but now I can just hit L to load, so... L to load. A to aim. Let's test this. L load, A to aim. Okay, I'm sorry, ma'am, I'm just testing. And T to shoot. I'm not gonna... Karen Bradshaw shows signs of fear. Okay, I'm really sorry. I didn't know that you would register the fact that I'm aiming a rifle at you. just testing to know that I know. I didn't know how to do that a second ago. I'm sorry. I didn't know. I forgot how to do that. Okay. All right. I gotta teach some coyotes a lesson. One moment. Where are you, coyotes? I'm ready for you. A wild dog. It's not exactly a coyote. Aim. Fire. That is a dead dog. Yes. Alright. I only have so many bullets, though, so I'll have to be careful with that in the future. I could choose to butcher the dog if I wanted to. You slice off one pound of meat. Alright. It's kind of weird that you did that, but you did it. Now, using bullets on a wasp is not suggested. The wasp might sting me, but it's probably not going to kill me. It will probably just make my life worse. A lot worse. Which is very annoying, but not bullets worthy. I want to find that 12-gauge shotgun, because you can find a lot of bullets for the 12-gauge shotgun. It is a long-term solution. Yeah, 12-gauge shells. It is a long-term solution for combat, for gun combat for a character like me. And, well, I mean, the only way I can defend myself is with guns, basically, with this character. But I think I can basically pull off doing that throughout the game if I marshal my resources right. Alright, it's the Rogar farm. Hello, Mrs. Rogar. Michelle Rogar is a beautiful blonde woman. Her head twitches from side to side as she speaks, which is a bit awkward, but a typical mannerism. Yes, you do. Sorry. Well, she's also sorry. Well, I'm super cool. I'll fast talk. I think the blonde girls like the super cool. I'm gonna be super cool. Alright, don't call me a goon and a maroon. I'll back off for now. I'm not too worried about what people say at the moment. Shirt and string, I've got both of these things. I don't want to get too weighed down. And another 20-gauge shotgun. I've already got one of these. Alright, well, no worries. But I do need to... Actually, I do want to dump things off. I'm already carrying an excessive amount of things, so I want to dump things off back at my house. Is this... That's Naomi's house. That's right. I was trying to get into Naomi's house earlier. Let's do that. I think I've got my... Or can I just... I forgot to knock. Nobody's home. Okay, and it's locked. But I do have a lockpick somewhere. Okay. Now, I don't have any lockpicking skill, but if you keep trying, eventually you'll get in. Of course, I am very, very thirsty. Do I have any water? Seem to neglected water. I don't want my character to die for lack of water. I'll go ahead and do a double dose of that. And now, where was my lockpick again? There it is. Okay, what's the enemy nearby? Okay, Naomi and a dog. Okay, those are fine. Those are fine. None of these two things are going to kill me. Although I'm kind of surprised that Naomi doesn't report me for trying to break into someone's house. Oh, there's nothing here to pick. I'm sorry. I'm trying to pick a dog. I've been trying to pick a dog for the better part of an hour. There we go. We got in eventually. This is why I think lockpicking isn't the most important skill to take, because you can learn the skill eventually, and... Ooh, cool. Genus Nectar drug. I believe that was good for... The 12-gauge! The 12-gauge, hooray! The 12-gauge is a huge thing for us for long-term self-defense. Okay, so here's Sheriff Booth's office. If I go north... I can find my home. Wait, that's a Bradshaw farmhouse. So I think I've searched that. I want to get back to my house and deposit stuff there. Here we go. My house. I will deposit excess barbed wire. These excess shirts. And that way, if I need to do any crafting in the future, these extra pants, they will all be here. I've got one hip boots, one deerstalker hat. I think those will be useful. I guess keeping a blanket with me wouldn't be that bad of an idea. Just one. I'm going to drop most of these ears of corn here. And I'll be making more medicine with you later. You're probably going to need a lot of ears of corn in the future because, like I said, the corn disappears. I'm not sure about the mushrooms or other things, but the corn gets like scorched from the face of the planet or from the face of this island, at least, in the future. So I'm thinking about the future when I'm stockpiling lots of corn. Firecrackers. Not important for me right now. I'll just set those down. The Vela Diary. I'll put that here along with the Fish Beasts. Anything that is excessive. Really, I'm going to set down 100 sheets of paper one at a time. There isn't a faster way to do this. Okay, I don't think sheets of paper are going to weigh me down too much. Okay, I'm not going to worry about the 100 sheets of paper. I may have already picked up too many things, but I'll drop this 7mm auto. I'll drop both the 20 gauges for now because I don't have any ammo for them. I'll drop these 45 caliber shells. Fortunately, they drop in boxes. I'm going to drop the chicken egg because I've got better meats, or better food right now. I'm going to drop these 8 iron wires. Trying to get my weight down. I still have a lot of weight. These things could be used to make explosives. Let's do some make explosives. How close are we to? If I get acid and saltpeter, I can make a nitrix. I don't have any acid. Old wine. Okay, so I'm nowhere close to that stuff yet. So, yeah, for now, I'm just going to drop these bottles of various chemicals, making sure not to empty them out. They will be extremely useful in the future. All right, my stack of mail. That was, it would be unwise to discard your mail. Okay, if you say so. I read my mail, but yeah, I might not be able to memorize everything that's in it. I've got 7 empty bottles. I've got a backpack. I guess that's useful. A lot of food. I guess I don't think the food is too much to carry. And then the aspirin tablets, the small batteries. They're small, and yet, well, they're small batteries. I might want to carry those just because they'll go in the flashlights if I find a flashlight. I'll take those small batteries back. Where are they? Small batteries. Okay, I'm going to pick those back up. And then I'll drop... anything else? Okay, I've dropped everything else that I want to drop at the moment. Let's use a light source. Let's light a candle. I don't have anything to light the candle with. Okay, that's right. I need matches. I've got a candle. I need matches. I'm going to make more healing drink. Oh, I need a bit more of the mushroom and the corn. I'll just get those from outside, even though I did drop a lot of those in here. Might as well get extra. Tango weed, bottle. I probably do have a lot more tango weed than I need. Having extra bottles doesn't hurt too much. I don't think they're too heavy. Or are they? I'm at 405 weight. Ear of corn. I want to pay attention to my weight. I feel like I typically tend to be a pack rat a bit too much in this game, and it eventually leads to my demise. Okay, ear of corn, mushroom. Ear of corn. Ooh, 12 gauge shell. Mushroom. Ear of corn. Ear of corn. Okay, we're up to 406. Now we're up to 408. Okay. So yeah, it's escalating fairly quickly. But let's make some medicine. I think I've got enough empty bottles. You make 5 bottles of medicine. And I'll use one. Oh, I'm at max max health. That's good. Okay, I'm probably going to want to make the other medicines too, as they do other things. Like one of the medicines actually heals your paper doll, which is important because if you take too much damage on your well, I call it like a paper doll, but your little person diagram here, if you take too much damage there, you'll become either really slow or you'll go unconscious maybe, or bad things will happen. That's the main thing. So I do want to have options available for that. And then there's other medicine that helps restore various statuses. So And the power drink is really cool as well because it can get you out of a bad situation. So let's make all of that. So I need more bottles of water if I want to make more of that medicine. And I think a bunch of berries. I think that getting an extra empty bottle will be good because I'm not sure if I'm going to waste one. All right, there. One empty bottle. Get the water. Make the medicine. And in the future, I'm going to want to get some sea water and some salt lick. That'll be useful. And if I get some sulfur, that'd be good too. I want to make all the medicines. Making all the medicines and having all the medicines available is generally recommended because they all are useful in certain points in the game if you get hit by the right thing. But in any case, I've got extra of the main. The life medicine is the most important thing, of course. So I've got some of that. I'm gonna do a little bit more before I take a break. Let's search the rest of town. And then I'll save the rest for later. This is the Rock Island Cemetery. I don't think I've ever did anything with the Rock Island Cemetery. Here's a chicken. I'm not going to bother with the chicken. That's Sheriff Booth's office. I've did everything I can with him. That's the Rogar's farm. Here's a .22 caliber shell. Just going to grab more corn. Because I believe in preserving the corn of the island for the future. Corn is eventually going to disappear from this island. I must save as much corn as I can for the future. And more 12 gauge shells. Oh, I missed that. Okay, it's automatically searching as I move. Just keep moving along. The yellow spots on my paper doll are slowly disappearing. I think I basically searched town, haven't I? There's that dead dog earlier. The island's only store that I thoroughly raided. Here's a bit of a swamp. You can get swamp water and mushrooms and toadstools. Was there something I needed swamp water for? Particular medicine? Tuft of moss. Swamp water. If I wanted to make this. But I also need acid. So, I don't have acid yet. However, the tuft of moss... I could get the tuft of moss while I'm here. Oh well, too late. So what was that landmark? This was the post office. It's very small. I will send a short report of what has happened so far back to the Faunus Foundation via written letter. Hello, it is Naomi, I believe. Is it not? Naomi McIntyre is a lovely woman. She has a cute little curl in her lip. Her voice is sweet, and her manners very kindly. I am a wise guy, yes. So tell me... she knows what... She knows the hypnosis. She cannot resist the hypnosis. Last winter, I was walking home in the snow one night from the Kennedy house when she heard a howling wind high above. A sudden cold blast of air hit me in the face, and my feet lifted off the ground. The last thing I remember before waking up the next morning in the middle of the graveyard, with 2 broken legs and frostbitten face and shoulders. There were no tracks in the snow around me. I still have no clue what happened to you. I can only imagine that, like, aliens decided to, like, hit you with cold air for some reason. And why you woke up in the cemetery, I have no clue what that's about, but that's an interesting story. I remember him coming... about the Black Farm. I remember him coming in here every day the week before his house burnt to the ground. He was very worried about his letters to Boston getting through. The funny thing is, I remember a strange smell of cigar mixed in with a cheap cologne on a few mornings after that. I remember The funny thing is, I remember a strange smell of cigar mixed in with the cheap cologne on a few mornings after that inside the post office. Cheap cologne and the smell of a cigar. What? She decided to leave? She decided to leave and she came back. Okay, that was kind of weird. So I think what she's saying is that the person who started writing the letters afterwards is someone who smokes cigars and uses cheap cologne. I think Dice was a guy who smokes cheap cigars. Could the letter have been written by this Dice character? Strange people. In July, a large group of military men surrounded the Williams farm. They were armed with guns. I have been afraid until now to say anything about it. Don't tell anyone I told you about it. I think something very important happened there. I think so too. There's a cave in the south of town, in a swamp, that has some odd writing on the wall. I kind of forget what that is about, but there was some sort of Native American legend, something to do with the monster on this island, and something to do with a ceremony to seal the monster back up, I believe. That might have been on the wall. I forget. All I know is there's some sort of... What I did last time was I opened up the gates, the seal. I removed the Eldritch seal to the monster last time, and I let it free on the island. What I didn't do is I didn't seal it back up, which I think I'm supposed to release it so I can seal it back up. Although I don't know why, if I'm just going to seal it back up, do I ever bother to release it in the first place, but apparently it's something I'm supposed to do. I don't know why, it's just what I have to do. I think. Maybe that was a bad idea to unleash unholy evil upon the world, but I did it. And so I tried to seal it back up by reading this scroll. There's a particular scroll that you have to read. There was a legend about someone reading a scroll from this tower to seal the evil back up, but I tried it and it didn't work, which was bad news. And so I was just doomed, and so was the island. So, yeah, I feel like I got kind of close there, but I didn't quite do the thing. So what I'm saying is maybe I should go to that cave to the south and read the thing on the wall, and maybe it'll give me a hint there. I think I need a hint. I think I need a lot of hints. I think I need all the help I can get to complete this mystery. But anyways, I've got all the basic gear I need for my mystery-solving career. I've got my gun. It's loaded. I've got medicine. I gathered up all the basic items in town. So I think I'm ready to have a good adventure. So, yes. I hope to see you again. Thanks for watching the adventure of Dr. Hypnosesys. And I hope to see you again in the next episode, when I hopefully uncover the truth that's and solved entirely the mystery that has been plaguing Rock Island. We'll see. I'll see you again in the next video. Saving the game on save number 4, and Dr. Hypnosesys has survived a day and a half. So thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time. Paranormal investigators. Good night.